Exercise 11.1, Problem 6, Division 1, Solution. Calculate the standard deviation of the following data: 10, 20, 15, 8, 3, 4. So it's a ungrouped data which they are given and they are asked us to calculate the standard deviation. So let's list out our formula. We know the standard deviation in such cases is sigma d square by n, the square root of it actually, right? And the d is x minus x bar. X bar is our mean. So this is the deviation of each and every data from its mean, and mean is sigma x by n. So we have all the information to calculate the standard deviation, right? So first step will be we'll have to calculate our mean. Mean is sigma x by n. N is nothing but the number of data points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So n equal to 6 here. So which means we'll be able to calculate mean. So once we know mean, we will be able to calculate x minus x bar, that is x minus mean, which you can calculate it, right, for every data point. Then you can calculate the sigma d square by n and the square root of it, which will give us the standard deviation. So which means we have enough data to calculate the standard deviation. So let's proceed. So as I said, first step is to calculate the mean, arithmetic mean. So all we need to do is sum up all the data and divide it by 6, because n equal to 6, the number of data points is 6. So that is 10 plus 20 plus 15 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4. That is all these data points, okay, or data values, whichever way you want to call it actually. So all the values, sum it up and divide it by 6, because there are 6 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So this is 60, 60 by 6 is 10. So arithmetic mean is 10. Next, we'll have to calculate the deviation, which is d is x minus x bar. As you have to do it for every point, it's better to do it in a table, right? And we will use the actual mean method because it's a whole number. Suppose this mean comes to be 10.3 or 10.4, in which case finding the deviation d for every value becomes very tedious. Then the square is actually becoming more and more tedious. In such cases, we will assume the mean to be a whole number and I'll work it out. That example we will do it in the later part. Actually, it's coming probably in the next or maybe the 7th or 8th, whatever it is, it will be coming in the next few problems. So here in this case, we are using the actual mean method because the arithmetic mean is a whole number. Okay, so now let's put the table. Okay, the table is, you will have the columns as x, the data, all the data values are given here, and the d, deviation, x minus arithmetic mean x bar is given here, and the d square, corresponding d square is given here, right? So now let's take one by one. The first data point is 10, right? And what's the deviation? X minus x bar, that is 10 minus, what is our arithmetic mean? Is 10, right? So 10 minus 10, that is 0. And d square is 0. So now let's take the next element, 20. So 20, here it will be 20 minus 10, because x bar is 10, right? So 20 minus 10 is 10, and d square will be 10 square, that is 100. So next data value is 15. So our d will be 15 minus 10, that is 5, and d square is 25. The next point value is 8. So it will be here 8 minus 10. So that is minus 2. Minus 2 square is 4. The next data value is 3. The d will be x minus x bar, that is 3 minus 10, that is minus 7. So minus 7 square is 49. And the last one is 4. The last data value is 4. And the d deviation will be x minus 4, right? Sorry, x minus 10. So that will be minus 6. So minus 6 square equal to 36. So let me tell you here in this case, x bar is 10, right? I'll just write it here. So arithmetic mean is 10. So for every data value, you'll have to subtract 10, the arithmetic mean from that number, and put it over here, square that d here, and that comes in this column. So we need to add up sum up all this d square, which actually comes to 214. Here I've added the x also, but that since we have done it here, we don't need it, but just for highlighting it, I've given it here, but you don't have to do it because that is our first step. We have to calculate arithmetic mean. Only after calculating arithmetic mean we can come for D, right? So this may not be required. This is already done. Okay. So when you are doing it, you don't need to do this actually, right? So we do only the D square, then sigma D square is 214. Now let's go and substitute this in the formula. The standard deviation equal to root of the summation of D square divided by N. So we know summation of D square is 214 and N we know it is 6. So this will be square root of 214 by 6, and this if we divide it comes 35.66, and square root of 35.66 is 5.97. How will you find the square root? It is log of 35.66 divided by 2, and then you have to take the anti-log. Okay, I've written it over here. So because whenever you want to take a square root, all you need to do is take the log of the number divided by 2 and then take anti-log. Okay, so let me repeat it. So since it's an ungrouped data, first step will be you calculate your arithmetic mean. When to calculate arithmetic mean, all you need to do is sum of all the numbers and divide it by number of data values. So here you have 6 entries, so n equal to 6. So sum all these numbers and divide it by 6. That gives you your arithmetic mean. Then this mean is actually a whole number, so we will use the actual mean method. So which means the actual mean itself we will use for the calculation. And what is our standard deviation? Sigma equal to the standard deviation equal to summation of D square divided by N and the square root of that value. Okay, so what we'll do is that we'll create a table with 3 columns. The first column is X, the second column is D, the deviation X minus X bar, and the third column is D square. So write out all the X values here. Okay, now this you'll have to fill it up. So this is X minus X bar or arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is 10 in this case. So for each value you subtract 10 from that. So that is 10 minus arithmetic mean, and put that value here and square this D, you'll get D square. Right, so 20 minus 10 is 10 and 10 square is 100, and sum up this column, and this is the one which we need for our formula, and the formula is sigma D square divided by N and the square root of it. Okay, so that is 214 by 6, square root of that. So it is square root of 35.66 and square root of 35.66, 5.97. Okay, it's simple, but only thing is that you'll have to be little careful while doing the problem, because you can very easily make some mistake in arithmetic calculation. And one more point you'll have to observe here, the sum of D will be 0. And that will be one good indicator to check whether you are making any mistake. You can see 10 plus 5 is 15, and this is minus 2, minus 7, minus 9, minus 9, minus 6 is minus 15. So 15 minus 15 is 0. So this sum of D will be 0. So this is one good point which you'll have to observe to see whether you are doing it right or wrong. Okay. So I hope it's clear. If not, please go through one more time. It will become clear. Thanks for watching this video.